Yes, sir. Boys and girls from all around the world, welcome to the big broadcast. 99.5, man. I had 99 last time, but we going 99.5. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me, man. If you're listening on audio only, I want you to give your boy 5 stars. If you're listening on streaming platforms such as YouTube, I want y'all to smash that like button, like the stream to support the content. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all more than you know. We're gonna have fun tonight, man. We're gonna have fun tonight, and I just want to start this out by saying I appreciate all the supporters, man. I appreciate everybody who spends the time to come rock with the homie, come rock with your boy. I appreciate y'all more than you know. And we're gonna talk a lot of sports today, but we're gonna talk a lot of culture. We're also gonna talk some politics. It's gonna be a fun stream. It's gonna be a good stream. And we want y'all, at least I want y'all to have fun and rock with me. Like I said, best way to support your boy is to like the stream, like the stream. I know how YouTube works. They're gonna mess up my monetization, whatever it is. I don't care. Let's have some money. Let's have some fun. Let's have some money. Let's start off with some money. But let's have some fun by listening to some music, man. Let's get people to come in the chat and come rock with us. So smash that like button as y'all listen, as y'all rock with your boy, and let's do it. Let's do it then. Come on now. And I want the chat active. Let's go. Mhm, 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 mhm.
Ta ló gbọ́n tọ́lọ̀ ọmọ gbọ́n kò sẹ́nibọ́dì tó lọ́gbọ́n tọ́lọ̀.
Mhm. Yeah, man. Few technical difficulties, man. The issue's loading. I don't know what's going on, what's going on. Maybe it's too much going on, but hey, we vibing, man. We here to have fun. We here to have fun. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. We're gonna start the stream in a bit, but I want y'all to smash that like button, man. Best way to support. And we are doing dry July or January. I wish it was July. So we are sipping on non-alcoholic drinks, bro.
Tí
Let me
wọ́n
blow
bá
myself
bùgá
up. Let me blow myself up. Let me blow myself up. This is what we sipping on. Let me actually get it to face the camera. It's a kombucha drink, but it's like pink. It's a raspberry lemonade. Right? It tastes good. It tastes good. So we sober, man. You remember when I used to do the shot thing? I have to take a shot per super chat. Not gonna happen, man. So if y'all gonna send any super chats, I'm taking shots of the kombucha drink, man. Cheers to y'all, man. We made it through the week. I'm telling I'm telling you, we deserve it. We deserve it, man. Crazy, crazy. A lot of things happened to me this week, man. I'm trying to stay positive and do the right thing and stay motivated, stay focused. Smash the like button. Let's jam out. Let's have some music. Let's have some joy and enjoyment. You feel me? Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's start off with that. Let's go then. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
ẹ ò yá gbá bọ́ọ̀lù.
Uh, oh, yeah, uh, Alhamdulillah. Love that track. Love that track. And the track actually translates, I think it's Yoruba and translates to thank you, God. Appreciate you for everything that you've done. And it's huge, man. We gotta thank God, man. We're going through dark times, going through dark everything. We gotta be thankful, man. Smash the like button, man. That's the best way you can thank me. Even spend some super chats if y'all like. But y'all don't know how important it is to have people supporting, man. Any kind of chatting, engagement, liking, that goes a long way. And for people who've been rocking me from day one, I appreciate you more than you know. Keep in mind, bro, we are at 99.5. I started streaming, if I'm not mistaken, maybe about a year ago. You know what I mean? Barely anybody watching, barely anybody supporting. I did not have nothing. To even have four people who are willing to rock with me, to even have one or two listeners on the podcast, and then I appreciate that more than you know. And I can do more, I can do better, but I'm thankful for everybody who rocks with me, man. You know, even one individual. Let me say this: I can rock and I can rock out. But to see that I have supporters, man, that warms my heart. That makes me feel good. And I appreciate that more than y'all know. Let's keep rocking then. Mm, 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 mm. Of course, it starts lagging. I promise you, my internet ain't that garbage, man. We gonna have to figure it out, Chief. Yeah, London, no trees. I'm not joking. All my guys, them, they know me. Mm. Since '03, I've been writing this story. And we all know me. Mm. Shows me that's why and OT. Yep,
Them know me.
of course, we lagging, we lagging. Who cares, man? I don't care, bro. It's one of them things. Let's go. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on, bro. I'm trying to turn up here and my ish. My internet bill is paid. I love that. Let's go. Let's go then. Last one. I love this song, man. Addicted. Let's go.
Yeah, she's like, boy, you better not cheat. I'm like, tell it's how it gotta be. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the blunt and went viral for the week. I got a lot of reach. Me the streamer and make them hot as me. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the blunt and went viral for the week. Goddamn, get off my Deasley. Get off my
Get him
Deasley.
my Deezy.
Goddamn,
Yeah,
get off
damn.
my
Get him my
Deasley.
Deezy.
Get off my
Get him
Deasley.
my Deezy.
Damn, Deasley. Damn, Deasley. Damn, Deasley. Damn, Deasley. I'm not these rappers, I got real bands. In the crib, busting my tail lil dance. I don't troll, I do it for the real fans. Play this song and turn it with my little man. And my real name Max. And I really got plaques, yeah. Double digits, no cap. I'm a real plaque boy Max. Plaque boy Max. Plaque boy Max. Plaque boy Max. I'm the real plaque boy Max. In the crib, counting on my plaques. Tell Casa not react to that. And they can never say I'm whack. Don't rate it, leave it to the chat. Chat. Don't rate it, leave it to the chat. Chat. Don't rate it, leave it to the chat. like, boy, you better not cheat. I'm like, chill, it's how it gotta be. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the blunt with Verb for the week. I got a lot of breach. Meet a streamer and make them hot as me. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the blunt with Verb for the week. I smoke the blunt with Verb for the week.
We gotta run that again. Love that song. Before we move forward, man, y'all better smash that like button, man. We out here giving you content, like Fuzi to say, but I need y'all to smash that like button, man. You came in the building, wipe your feet at the door. Let's have some fun then. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Come on now. Mm-hmm. Gang in the building, man. Let's go.
Yeah, she's like, boy, you better not cheat. I'm like, chill, it's how it gotta be. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the blunt with Verb for the week. I got a lot of breach. Meet a streamer and make them hot as me. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the blunt with Verb for the week. Goddamn, get off my diesel. Get off my diesel.
Get off my diesel.
Goddamn, get off my diesel.
Get off my diesel.
Get off my diesel.
Get off my diesel.
Damn, diesel. Damn, diesel. Damn, diesel. Damn, diesel. I'm not these rappers, I got real bands. In the crib, busting my tail lil dance. I don't troll, I do it for the real fans. Play this song and turn it with my little man. And my real name Max. And I really got plaques. Double digits, no cap. I'm the real Black Boy Max. Black Boy Max. Black Boy Max. Black Boy Max. I'm the real Black Boy Max. In the crib, counting on my plaques. Tell cops and not react to that. And nigga never say I'm whack. Leave it to the chat. Chat. Don't wait to leave it to the chat. Chat. Don't rate it, leave it to the chat. It's like, boy, you better not cheat. It's like, chill, it's how it gotta be. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the blunt with Verb for the week. I got a lot of That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the blunt with Verb for the week.
Yeah, been for a week. Let's go. Love that track, bruh. Shout out Favi, man. Black Boy Max really revive. What's going on with my tongue? No Diddy. One more track and then we out, man. We gotta get started. So.
I found them out the trap, these Glock got a standing maggots, I won't be stingy with no pussy, you can have it, I gon' lie. Shit ain't changed a lot, so I drop that automatic. It feel good to be rich as hell, and I ain't gotta do no gun clap, How to get away with murder, I was going north, passed out in Miami, I had to drop. Drink me some of that Florida water, On they block, I should've moved.
No. So,
I found them out the trap, these Glock got a standing maggots, I won't be stingy with no pussy, you can have it, I gon' lie. Shit ain't changed a lot, so I drop that automatic. It feel good to be rich as hell, and I ain't gotta do no gun clap, How to get away with murder, I was going north, passed out in Miami, I had to drink me some of that Florida water. On they block, I should've moved. Call me young reporter, got a bad red bitch, she stay with a barb, I call her my little dress, I met her in the corner. All she wanna do is stay fly, show me what you want to order. Ass fast in the she don't care if I'm recording. Ain't gonna lie, she put me to sleep. I was in that pussy snoring. Need a new bitch cause she getting born. Locked in cash, she need to go get a new man. You know I miss you, baby. And I climb my car when a young nigga sitting that can. The dream about kiss you, baby. That nigga made too mad and you walked out on him. Come here, what's the issue, little baby? Been going too crazy, the neighbors don't know my name. Put your face in the pillow, little baby. It's a sunny day. Every time you get around all your friends, you be acting a funny way.
Funny, babe.
She get mad and I did laugh. She like, ain't shit funny, babe. As long as you do your job, hop on the dick like a bunny, babe. I found them out the trap, these Glock got a standing mag.
Good night, huh?
I won't be stingy with no pussy, you can have it. I ain't gonna lie, shit ain't changed the light, so I drop that automatic. It feel good to be rich as hell, and I gotta do no gun clapping, How to get away with murder. I was law and order, passed out in Miami, I had to drink me some of that Florida water. On that block, I should've moved. Call me young reporter, got a bad red bitch, she stay with a barb, I call her my little daughter.
Oh, classic, man. We gotta do one more. We gotta do one more. If you're in the chat, I want you to smash that like button. Let's go. Come on now. This is a fire track. Mm-mm-mm. I guess, huh? Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Uh, mhm. Mm, 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 you're gonna know. You're gonna love. Mm, mm.
Days coming for sure.
Oh, let's go. Mm. This I think might be the best track on GNX. Fire, 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 fire
This
upon the
world were
prayer.
mine.
Yes, yes. If this world were mine, appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. We're gonna have fun on this stream. We're gonna have fun on this stream. Like I said, smash the like button. Best way to support, man, and get your boy rolling and such things. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The best way to talk about it is start talking about it, and you know what we're here to talk about. We got to talk about Pat Riley versus Jimmy. This is the biggest drama in NBA in the NBA right now, right? And because of the biggest update is that Jimmy has been suspended by the Miami Heat, and this happened yesterday. So we're gonna have a video that describes it. and talks about it. Let's go.
Last night, the Heat suspended star guard Jimmy Butler for 2 games for a continued pattern of disregard of team rules, according to a statement released by the team.
By the way, fair use, fair use. I don't own this content. This belongs to ESPN, specifically First Take. Let's go.
Yesterday, Butler missed the team's flight to Milwaukee, which our Shams Charania originally reported and has been all over the story from the beginning. Shams is with us here now. Good to see you. Shams, what more can you tell us about a potential Miami Butler split?
Yeah, Molly, this has turned into really an ugly, bitter, any word you want to use, and a divorce to a relationship that overall has been pretty successful. You think about the last 5 years for Jimmy Butler, 3 appearances in the Eastern Conference Finals, 2 of which were NBA Finals runs. And right now, this is a situation where the Heat are putting their foot down on a lot of the stuff that Jimmy Butler has traveled separately away from the team.
And by the way, I'm going to pause this right here. By the way, good jobs on Sham Sarania. He actually was beefing with Jimmy's agent because about a month ago, there was rumblings that Jimmy wanted to leave Miami and lost his joy. And this was maybe at a time, this was not even maybe, the time that Shams reported on this, a few days later, excuse me, a few days later, Jimmy's agent said, "Don't believe these reports; they're wrong." And literally 2 weeks later, Jimmy says, "Yeah, I want to get out of here." Shams was right, right? They owe Shams an apology. So if you didn't follow the saga, Jimmy Butler got suspended by the Miami Heat for about a week. It was a 7-game suspension. So it was more than a week, 7 games. Over an NBA schedule, that's about 2 weeks, right? Now they've given him another suspension.
In the past before at times, and he was planning to do the same thing yesterday, joining the team in Milwaukee last night instead of going on the team flight. So he tells the team that he's going to fly separately on private charter, and he will join the team in Milwaukee. But before he even got a chance to do so, I'm told the Heat called him and informed him to stay home, that they don't want him there, and they were suspending him for 2 games on this quick 2-game road trip that they have. And they'll play again in Miami next week. But where the situation is at is it's untenable. You see Eric Spoelstra, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo have spoken out publicly about the fact that it's brought a lack of clarity to this team, a level of chaos, level of distraction. And there's not really an end yet in sight. The Heat have been engaged in conversations with multiple teams, one of which being the Phoenix Suns, from what I'm told, but they're not close to a deal as of yet. They obviously have an asking price that they've laid out to teams, including the Suns, of players that they feel can help, draft assets, and not those long-term contracts. That contract of Bradley Beal that the Suns have.
By the way, that's one of the worst contracts in the league, that Bradley Beal contract, and also has a no trade clause. So if they want to get Bradley Beal off the Phoenix Suns, he would have to choose it. So he'd have the biggest power in the whole trade.
Has been
even though Jimmy Butler wants to go to Phoenix, and it's alleged that KD wants him there too. Let's go.
Really a non-starter in talks. So they're not any closer to an end, but before that point, it's going to be a little ugly.
Shams, I hate to break it to you, OG or G. He's not even OG, a youngin. Yeah, he's probably close to my age. But bro, it's already ugly. It's uglier than the MF. Let's go.
I've known Jimmy Butler for years. I got a lot of love for him. Jimmy Butler, if you are watching, you are not helping yourself, my brother. You're not helping yourself. Mark Andrews and the Baltimore Ravens is a different animal.
By the way, Stephen A. Smith, annoying as hell. It is what it is. Let's go. But he is, I hate to say this, correct. This is horrible.
But there's no question that even though it's understandable, it's unprofessional. This is an extra level on top of unprofessional. You got to show up to work in time, and when you don't show up to work, you got to own it. And when you just finished suffering a 7-game suspension, although you might have thought it was not justified, the fact of the matter is that was the decision that the organization has made. You're looking for your bag. There was a 2-year, $113 million extension you didn't get. you're hoping to get at least that from somebody else. How you gonna get that if this is your reputation going out the door and it's getting worse? I would love to sit here and revisit what I.
Mm. Stephen A. Snitch is correct. He's correct. This looks absolutely horrible for Jimmy Butler. Let's
I
go.
said, Shams, over a week or so ago about Pat Riley and, love this man, first class organization all the way, the winner within. We all know how I feel about Pat Riley, but LeBron did walk out the door. You didn't get Kevin Durant. You didn't get Damian Lillard. Okay. I can point to those things. I can point to the fact that you're in, this is Miami we're talking about here. Everybody love being in Miami, yet you don't see people anxious to come play for the Heat. What's up with that? We got to ask those questions, but not today. And the reason why we can't ask those questions today is because Jimmy Butler was late to work. And that's really what the bottom line is. We can't make excuses. We got to call it like we see it. Love the brother wanting to get paid, wanting to get as much money as he possibly can. He's a rough rider. He shows up, playoff Jimmy, big games. All of that stuff is true. But at the end of the day, you got to be one.
By the way, get active in the chat. Do y'all agree with Stephen A. Snitch? Or I could use another word. It rhymes with snitch, starts with B. I'm not trying to cuss, but you let me be real with you. He's spitting. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I have another video for y'all. We're gonna
You got to be
react to it.
somebody that answers the call. You've been back for 3 games. You scored a grand total of 39 points, averaging 13 points. You're getting paid nearly $49 million. You got a $52 million play.
That's one of my problems. As a Miami Heat fan, I've seen Jimmy Butler cruise in the regular season because he doesn't care. He doesn't put in the effort in the regular season. It's quite annoying. Let's go.
Pat Riley and them are looking to move on. They need to make this happen quick.
You think before the trade deadline?
They got to. They can't keep him. And I think that's important, whether it's directly or subconsciously. I think that's what this is about. Jimmy Butler desperately wants out. He told Pat Riley to his face, I want out. I'm just saying, when
And
this
Mickey
happens, yes, that's right. And Mickey Harrison. I'm just saying here, for the purposes of this show, you are not helping yourself, Jimmy Butler, when something like
He's actually losing money, I believe. It's actually making his situation
this
worse.
happens. You told him you want out.
All right,
Now
Sean,
you go play until
I'll give you the last word, and then I want to move on to LA.
Both sides have the same goals, but how do you get there and getting to the asking price? That's the biggest thing. The whole league is waiting on a Jimmy Butler trade because this could be a 3, 4, 5 team trade potentially if he ends up in Phoenix. That's the only way this deal happens. But to get to that point, there's 2 people that are going to ultimately sign off on this, and that's Mickey Harrison, Pat Riley, Andy Ellsberg in that front office as well. And so far, they have not found anything that they like.
A pass article on ESPN.com, Sham. So LeBron James and Anthony Davis have expressed.
Look, and before we even get to the chat or before we even get to this topic, to make it very simple, right? Jimmy Butler is becoming a cancer to the team because he wants a little bit more money. Now, is it bad to want money? There's nothing wrong with it, right? Nothing. You can want as much money as you can, right? But you don't get what you deserve. You get what you can negotiate. And the negotiating tactic that Jimmy is using by being unprofessional, by actually being petty and not actually putting in the work to raise his value is nasty work, fam. Because let's run a scenario. If he actually played that game versus the Milwaukee Bucks, they would have lost anyways. That's fine. But if he put up a show, he is auditioning for his next team. He's showing that he's professional. He's showing that he can add on to a championship contending roster. And the rumors are that Jimmy Butler is saying that he's not going to join he's open to any other team other than Memphis. I believe that's reverse psychology because Memphis Grizzlies are balling and they're playing really well. So it's the nonsense. And here, I'm not going to say Pat Riley's innocent either. Pat Riley has ran a lot of all-stars out of his team. A lot of all-stars, man. And my problem is I'm thinking, bro, you had Shaq, you ran him out. You had Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade and Pat Riley had some issues near the end. Ran him out, and then Wade came back. Okay. LeBron James ran him out. Right? And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. The old school mentality of building NBA teams, right? It's dying. It's dying. And I'm telling you, Pat Riley, unfortunately, he is going past the times right now. Think about it. The reason the Miami Heat got to the past two championships in recent years was because of Jimmy Butler. And it'll look really, really bad seeing him struggle without no single superstar going against the Lakers in the bubble championship and then going against a prime, I'm saying prime Nikola Jokic and you know what I mean, that deep Denver Nuggets team. Fam, how was Jimmy one guy going to face those guys? Of course, you had guys like Max Christie, Gabe Vincent, Kevin Love will come support Bam, Tyler Hero, but they weren't ready. I don't even think Tyler Hero was really that healthy in the last run. And this is a problem. Pat Riley flopped at getting Giannis because Giannis was available, flopped at getting KD, flopped at getting Dame Lillard, flopped at getting a lot of all-stars who would have made Miami a premier team. Look at the Boston Celtics, man. I don't like the Celtics. F the Celtics. But guess what the Celtics are? They're deep. And the guys that they've drafted are perennial all-star. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, always on the all-star games. Always up there as elite wings. And they add on to the team, man. They add a guy like Drew Holiday. You dig? They add a guy like Kristaps Porzingis. The Boston Celtics front office kills it. They're good. Another great front office. The Cleveland Cavaliers, man, the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. They just keep adding and adding and adding and adding. Who have the Miami Heat got? Terry Rozier. You really trying to tell me that you're gonna win anything with Terry Rozier, Negro? Are you out of your damn mind? Terry Rozier. That's who you expect to win. And man, get the F out of here, man. And at that point, I think Jimmy Butler realized, okay, if y'all are not gonna give me no pieces, pay me some money. Okay. Pat Riley, which I think is accurate, said, bro, you're 35. You're pretty much at the end of your prime, brother. We're not gonna pay you some money. We're not gonna give you the super bag. But guess who went through something similar? Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson himself had to join a team that was already stacked because Klay Thompson had too many injuries. Excuse me, and Klay was not that guy no more. He was not that guy no more. Right? And he wanted more money from the Golden State Warriors like, nah, nigga, go to Dallas. And guess what? I think he's doing all right in Dallas. But the fact remains is that Jimmy Butler has a similar trajectory. And I say this, Jimmy Butler does not try in the regular season, man, and it's blatantly obvious to see. And as the leader of the team, you've now become a cancer. Now, let's hear some other perspective. By the way, JM man, what's good, family? Facts, bro. Uh, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can negotiate a good enough deal, you'll get that deal. If you cannot, then make sure put yourself in a position to get a good one or leave the table. This has become a massive cancer, bro, in the locker room. My Miami Heat. Let's look at the standings, y'all. Miami Heat is my team since I was damn 12 years old, bro. I've loved this team. Bruh, they're outside of the playoffs right now. Miami Heat are 21 and 22 with about 3 months left in the season. Are you kidding me, man? Like, if they get in the play-in, they're going to get absolutely washed by the Pistons. They're going to get probably watched by the Magic if they play Magic. Even the Hawks, the Atlanta Hawks, could give them some work. Shout out to Jalen Johnson, who's been balling out of control. And that's the problem, y'all. That's the problem. You have a guy who can't accept where he is in his career and is doing it for the money. Let's go, bro.
In this situation, it's more about human nature. I know exactly how Jimmy feels. I've been in this situation many times. All that I've done for you, and you don't want to give me what I want. So human nature kicks in.
Well, I gave you what you want because you signed the
Get in the chat. Let us know how y'all feel about this. I think one of these guys is really, really stupid. Y'all can guess who.
deal that goes on to next year.
But hold on. I want an extension, and Charles going to say you don't pay.
You want more.
That's what I'm saying. So the part I hate about this business of basketball thing, it always has to be somebody's fault. I think it's more human nature. All I've done for you guys, you don't want to give me extension. So now human nature kicks in. You don't want me, I don't want you. So I don't like.
You still have to be professional.
Yeah, but I don't like it's his fault and he's unprofessional. He's doing that. Human nature kicks in.
Shaq, if you sign a deal, first of all, hold on. Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead. If you sign a deal that has an extension,
I want
to
an
next
extension.
Year, you're not getting one. So you're saying you want
not
more.
getting one.
It's not saying that you want.
You're not getting one.
It's not like you
so
want
human
more.
nature kicker. You don't want me. I don't want to be
want
here.
this
That's
year,
it.
next year,
We should
and
just
more.
leave it at that. Not it's Jimmy's fault. It's Pat's fault.
No.
It's called business of basketball.
But Pat Riley ain't gonna just give him away.
That's fine. But
Jimmy Butler's a really good player.
I'm saying people that don't understand it, this is the business
We
of
understand
basketball.
it very well.
Yeah, we understand. This is the
the
business
public
of basketball.
understands. Shaq,
Shaq is so stupid, man. This is a horrible
they
take.
have
Let's go.
paid. Jimmy Butler makes $50 million a
If you
year.
want more,
Get in the chat. Do y'all agree with Shaq?
so what?
He ain't getting more.
Okay, so guess what? You don't want me. I don't want to be here.
Okay, well then, but you can't just not show up to work.
Why not?
Because you took the other two. You
Why
took
not?
the 50 for this year and next year.
Okay,
So
but-
you're saying you
but-
took those two, but you not because you don't get two more.
Doesn't matter.
You could ask for a trade, but you gotta show
Human
up.
nature. You don't want me. I don't want to be here.
gotta
You don't
show
feel a responsibility when you are under contract for this season to play this season.
And next year.
I do.
Boom. That's the hammer shot right there. Let's take it. Let's run it back.
You don't want me. I don't want to be here.
You don't feel a responsibility when you are under contract for this season to play this season.
And next year.
I do. But I'm not going to go all out. I was ready to say the other way. I'm not going to go outplay, but I'm not going to go out, especially like.
You're not gonna play hard.
No, listen. I didn't say hard. I didn't say hard. I said I'm not going to go all out, especially if we're not going to win.
You don't feel no obligation.
Because you know what? At 35, what if I tear a knee and get hurt?
You still gonna make $50 million?
$2
You got $50 million coming.
Bro, I want more, man. You keep talking about 2 years. What about year 3?
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? This is the problem with the current NBA. That's why they're losing so many viewers. And as a product, they're trash. Because of Shaq's mentality. Let's go.
4, 5, and 6. I want more.
Because if you were that good at that time, your extension would have been longer.
No,
you signed a deal that you thought was great at the time.
He's old.
Michael Jordan, let me give you this example.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan played for $2.3 million.
I understand.
Like when he was there, and then said, "I signed the contract. I'm going to play." Period.
That's what the
now
money was,
I could ask for more. And I could,
And he never did.
But Jimmy could ask for more, but he still has an obligation to show
Michael
up.
Jordan end up leaving?
He has the obligation to show up. He retired.
Business of basketball. He came back and played for Washington.
Yeah, he did.
But also,
I will add this. Jordan could have gotten more money out the Bulls. He definitely could have got more money out the Bulls. I believe there's a lot of conspiracies regarding his 2 retirements. But obviously the reason he joined the Wizards was to get ownership of the Wizards and become an NBA owner. It was part of the deal, I believe. The first retirement, there's some mafia gambling conspiracies we can get into, but I'm not going to get into that. The fact remains is Jordan could have gotten more money from the Bulls, not even a question, right? But the fact remains is that he knew that his chances of winning were with Chicago, so he stayed in Chicago and he didn't really go crazy with the money because he was getting paid so much from Nike. Jimmy Butler is not a shoe brand guy, so his money is going to come clearly from NBA contracts. Just Jimmy is not in a position right now, 35 years old, and hasn't won a championship yet. And it doesn't look like Miami's even in position for a championship. He's now going to get that crazy Supermax contract. And because he's not going to get it from Miami, he's dragging his feet and being petty and being annoying on his way out. Guess what? He did that in Chicago. He did that in Minnesota. You know what I mean? The only place that got rid of him without having a lot of drama was Philly. And this is who he is. And I'm a fan of Jimmy, but Jimmy does this dumb ish, and this is making him look bad, selfish, and actually a horrible teammate, bruh.
Business of basketball, go all out.
Listen,
Come on, go all out. You owe that. You owe that to your teammates. You owe that to the fans. You owe that to the franchise.
No.
And that's the problem. They don't care about their teammates. It's such a me based sport.
You
Let's
owe it
go.
to
No,
yourself.
you owe it to your teammates more than
That's what I said.
You can get mad at the Miami Heat organization, but the fans of Miami and those guys in that locker room, they ain't got nothing to do with you wanting a contract extension.
Oh, okay, Ernie, to your point, how come people don't play hard in the All-Star? How come
I
players
wish.
don't go?
I wish we all had an answer to that.
But they don't go.
There's
all
no
out
consequences for losing an All-Star game.
No, they don't go
There's
all
consequences.
out.
They're not on the contract in
There's
All-Star
one
game.
reason they don't go all out in the All-Star game, because they don't want to get hurt. So again, if I'm not winning the championship at 35, right?
He's making $50 million a year.
Listen to what I'm saying. It might be another team that gives him an extension.
Can I ask you a question then?
I'm
So
not gonna go.
Wembanyama should say, I'm young. I could get hurt. We're not in the playoffs. I should just chill out a little bit.
Nice analogy, but it doesn't match.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's
Kenny's right. Kenny's right. Let's run that back again.
He's making $50 million a year.
Listen to what I'm saying. It might be another team that gives him an extension.
Can I ask you a question then?
I'm
So
not gonna go.
Wembanyama should say, I'm young. I could get hurt. We're not in the playoffs. I should just chill out a little bit.
Exactly. That's the logic of most modern NBA players now. They don't care. They don't care. And as fans are queuing in that they don't care. If you don't care, why should I patronize you? Because these TV deals are so large that they're getting money regardless if they try or
It's
not.
an
Let's
analogy,
go.
but it doesn't match.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I'm young.
No,
I'm
it's
not
not.
getting hurt
No,
and
it's
messing
not.
up my
No, it's
years.
not.
You act like Jimmy's playing for free.
Bro, y'all keep talking about 1 and 2. What about 3, 4, 5, 6?
That ain't that. Listen, he's on the contract for 2 more years.
But hold on.
Listen. The
point I'm trying-
so you think the Warriors, who made it to like
This is one of the things I respect a lot about LeBron. LeBron plays out his contracts and actually re-ups at the end of his contract. He doesn't like steal from the fan and his teammates.
Listen,
you know
Clay,
what I
we
mean?
love you. We won you 4 championships. But you're past your prime.
Okay, but
We're not gonna give you a max
Clay's not
deal.
even the same because he was a free agent.
No, but they offered it.
Yes, he was a free agent. You know what I mean? Kenny's right. Ultimately, Jimmy's not a free agent. Jimmy is forcing himself out. You have 2 more years on your contract, G.
But deal. They
But
didn't
this
want
dude's not a free agent.
I understand that, Kenny. But Shaq, they don't want to pay him because he's older and decline.
And human nature is kicking. Y'all don't want me. I don't want to be here.
Okay.
Right.
I just say
That's
that
all.
he should show up. He could ask for more. and he could get
Listen,
more.
you show up
But
and you
gotta
show up for your
up.
teammates.
That's all.
You know, we're about to do our third lap, saying the
sorry.
same.
This is exactly why this show's goated. Inside the NBA is amazing because they broke that down perfectly. You have Shaq being an idiot, a selfish idiot, and going for what Jimmy's doing. Jimmy is doing something that is dumb and stupid because this is actually going to hinder his negotiations. Let's say the Phoenix Suns actually do get him and it's like a 3-4 team trade or whatever, all that, right? What's going to happen? They're going to know that this guy, Jimmy, is liable not to fulfill his promises or his obligation as a player, not to be serious or committed. Let me show you something, man. Look at Shaq. Do you remember prime Shaq? You know what I mean? Those Orlando days, and then going to the Lakers where he was absolutely the most dominant big man in the league. But guess what Shaq liked to do on the offseason? He was eating burgers, man. French fries, dog. Homie was eating poutine. He ain't even Canadian. It is what it is. And he didn't maximize his efforts. Why? Because he knew that he was getting a bag. And when he didn't see his bag coming, he decided not to try. He even at times didn't want to get surgery because he knew that he was in contract negotiations and they weren't giving him his money. See, this is why Kobe was always mad at Shaq, because he understood Shaq's potential and Shaq's worth to the team. But Shaq himself didn't care unless he was getting his money, unless he was getting his check. Now, look, do I understand capitalism and being about your bread? Absolutely. But what happens is when you neglect everything and everybody in a team just to get to your money, you have conflict, you have strife, you have problems. Because guess what? When you win, the money is baked in the pie. And that's the problem with Jimmy Butler right now. Bro is just thinking about the money right away. Now, look, I will give Jimmy this argument. Pat Riley has not done his best to give him the right tools, the right people, bro. Look at the roster. Miami's not a winning roster. They're not going to win a damn thing because they do not have the pieces, man. And by the way, I'm going to say this too. The Phoenix Suns don't have the pieces too. Jimmy's not going to be the big solution, man. The Phoenix Suns are 10th in the West. Do you think they're going to be competing for a chip? They're 21 and 22. No, man. I think Jimmy would work on the Lakers, even though they have a lot of wings. They might need somebody in the center position. I think he could work on the Clippers. I think he could work even on the Rockets as, an older veteran. But in the East, I don't see a lot of spots. My thing is, by him being petty like this, he's ruining his negotiation. He looks unprofessional and he looks like a goofy. He looks like somebody you can't trust, especially as a veteran, because now he's going to be the veteran role and he might be the second star on the team. If he's with KD, he might even be the third because the offense is going to go through Booker, right? And Jimmy can definitely play a third, you know what I mean? But it's just not good, man. It's not good. And I love playoff Jimmy, but this is getting ugly, man. I hope they get this done before the trade deadline. And the thing that makes it crazier is look at this. Jimmy has lost $3 million off that 9-game suspension because he had 7 before and now he has 2. So Jimmy's desire to force straight out of Miami is costing him some serious dough, according to Anthony Chiang of the Miami Herald. Butler's most recent 2-game suspension, which brings his number of suspended games up to 9 for the 2024-2025 season, will cost him 3.1 million in lost salary. That ain't it, boss. You just dropped 3.1 in the toilet and you got baby mama drama. Come on, doggy. Come on, doggy. That ain't it. I'll tell you what else ain't there, man. Trump is wilding. Okay, I'll say this. Before we get to the Trump topic, I think it's two-part. It's multi-layered, right? When you talk about Pat Riley versus Jimmy Butler, Riley's going to win in this situation, but at what cost, right? The cost is these are two strong alpha-based males, old school, who have went sideways. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a championship with these two. And even though this beef has led to things being over, I don't like the fact that Pat Riley, I'm gonna go on Pat Riley, is it doesn't treat his stars with respect. He doesn't treat them well. Do you think other all stars, other superstars are not looking at this situation wondering, bruh, if this is how Pat Riley treats his best player, the guy who took him to 2 finals, why should I join him? Why should I join him? Why should I join this front office that disrespects superstars who've done a lot for him? I'm seeing this article said DeMarcus Cousins puts Pat Riley on blast amid Jimmy Butler trade drama. Yeah, who is going to be wanting to play for the Miami Heat now? Knowing that this old MFer is out here beefing with his superstar player. Pat Riley is this not new, by the way, because Pat Riley had a beef with Shaq, Pat Riley even had a mini beef with Dwayne Wade. He had an obvious beef with LeBron. Ain't no love lost between them two. They don't like each other. That's probably partially the reason LeBron went back to Cleveland. See, when you're so stuck in your ways and and you haven't won a championship in 10 plus years, you still feel that arrogance and that attitude to say, hey man, maybe I can meet my play on the table and salvage this situation. But no, you have an arrogance, you're old and you're lame and you're whack. This is why when people are too long at their job and they don't have real opposition, things go wrong. And these are two hard-headed men. And that's the problem. And that's the problem. People have to analyze and say, yo, Pat Riley, you're not always right, bro. You're not. And this leads me to talking about politics, man. We're going to talk about it, man. Let's talk about it then. Let's talk about it. The immigrant crisis. Let's go. By the way, feel free to get in the chat. My conclusion again is I think that Pat Riley's going to win that Jimmy Butler situation. I think he's going to ship Jimmy Butler to like some whack ass team for a lot of picks and movements. Either way, the fact remains is Jimmy is killing his stock. It's killing the stock. And I don't see a ring. I do not see a ring. I hope I'm wrong because I'm a fan of Jimmy Butler, but bruh, let's go.
President Trump's illegal immigration crackdown is off to a fast start.
Get in the chat and let me know what y'all think about that situation. We're about to tackle this, though.
Well, President Trump's illegal immigration crackdown is off to a fast start. Fox News has learned that in a 33-hour period between Tuesday morning and Wednesday night, ICE agents arrested over 460 migrants, many with long criminal histories. But these operations aren't just limited to Boston. They're taking place all over the country. Bill Malugin is getting an exclusive look at this massive, important operation in the sanctuary city of Boston. Live now to Bill.
Well, Emily, we've heard officials here in Boston and in Massachusetts say repeatedly they are not going to cooperate with ICE or mass deportation efforts by the Trump administration. And ICE says, well, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to cooperate with us. We're still going to go into your city and we're going to do the job. And we were with ICE Boston yesterday for about 10 hours as we got to.
So just to summarize this, Donald Trump is doing the deportation program. He's getting people out the paint. Let's go.
Watch them.
Get in the chat. Let me know y'all thoughts on this. I want to know what y'all think before I go in.
Firsthand carry out immigration enforcement. Take a look.
Good morning, everyone.
It's a frigid 5 degrees in the pre-dawn hours just outside of Boston, where this team.
Again, fair use. This does not belong to me. This clearly belongs to News Corp and Fox News.
Of elite ICE officers is briefing on their targets for the day.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
They really chose a crash out for that. They chose the ultimate crash out to feature. Everybody else's face is blurred, but this this crash out, clear in 4K, bruh. And they even used them as the thumbnail. That's how crazy Fox News be going. That's how gully they is.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Oh, damn.
Yo, ¿cómo se llama? And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before.
Their detainer request was ignored.
My thing is, how are these people like detained, arrested, and then let go? Like, I don't get that. Like, you did all this ish allegedly, or maybe that's proven, but they're let go. Like, what's up with
Because
that?
of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same
I guess it answered itself. Sanctuary laws or something like that, or policy. Let's go back.
just the day before, their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
By the way, I'm random as hell, but I love this. I love this. Let me show you one of my favorite things. Peep this, peep this, peep this. Hold on. Let me put it in. Put it in. Yo, bruh, this dude was savage. Yo, JBL from SmackDown era. Let's watch JBL. John, man, he was smacking on John Cena back in the day. No Diddy. John Bradshaw. Let's go,
So our
bruh.
main target.
By the way, shout out to Lenny in the chat. He said, if you're not in the country to earn an honest living, thousands of immigrants are doing. I say get them all out of here. Go back go back to your country and leave us alone. I absolutely agree with that, man. If you're a criminal and you get to a country illegally, that ain't right, bro. That ain't right. And what happens is, if you're an illegal person and you are stealing from resources of people who are legal and backlogging social services that are helping people, you should be kicked out. You're a criminal, get the hell out. If you're somebody who got here illegally, you are committing a crime by being there illegally, right? And unfortunately, this is a conversation people don't want to talk about. Illegal immigration affects minority communities a lot. We're talking about Hispanic communities, we're talking about black communities, black people. That doesn't affect like affluent white people or rich people, not at all. They probably want more illegals so that they can have their lawns done and their pools getting cleaned and pay them under the table below minimum wage untaxed.
Was
So
released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were released by sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell the Commonwealth.
So sanctuary policies, I believe those are policies saying that you can't arrest an illegal, somebody like that, for some amount of time. But either way, they are making an effort to say we kicking these MFers out. Y'all leaving.
In the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And guys, a quick note on some of the blurring we did in that story. We decided to of the ICE officers, obviously, because a lot of them work undercover. We also blurred some of the faces of the suspects if their cases are still pending, if they've been arrested but haven't been convicted yet. We also learned after we were done filming that ICE picked up another target on the other side of the city. This was a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested locally and is facing charges for raping a woman.
Bro, what?
While holding a gun in her mouth.
Okay, so they blurred the faces of people who are already not convicted or processed. So what the Haitian dude, was he already convicted and processed? He should look like he was just being arrested. That's it's a little suspect to me, bro.
Guys, those are the kind of targets ICE is picking up out here. We'll send it back to you.
Bill Malugin, thank you. Kaylee, an absolutely frightening collection of individuals. Took 33 hours to get 461 out of the way. And
I want to say this. Fox has some sexy shorties who work there. Some sexy. I was gonna say bitch, man, but some sexy women on their programs. Good for them.
amazing what a little bit of leadership, a little bit of gumption, and the mandate from the American people can do. And
You have to understand that Fox News again is an editorial-based magazine, right? Or medium. Let me get specific. Medium. Editorial, okay, is saying that something that is in essence it'll skewed one way. It's partisan. It's like MSNBC. MSNBC is editorialized to be left-leaning uh coverage, right? Fox News is right-leaning conservative coverage. Very, very simple to understand. So what they're going to talk about is right-leaning coverage of this entire situation. Look, I'm not in the US. I'm not a US citizen. I'm Canadian. I'm in Canada, bro, and I came myself as a refugee, which would count as an immigrant. It's under the umbrella of an immigrant, right? But everything that we did was processed legally. So much so to the point now I'm a Canadian citizen, right? If people would have come to Canada illegally and game the system and play the system, I think they got to go back. I just got to keep it real with you. Let's go.
Emily, we were sitting there watching this, and you said 18 convictions for that Haitian individual. I mean, we were stunned to hear him say, bleep Trump. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, Obama. Biden forever, bro. Pay attention to what he is saying. That Biden.
He's saying that the Biden and Obama rule. Actually, you know what's crazy? Actually, Obama deported way more people. Way more people than Biden. He was one of the biggest deporters. So people don't talk
And
about that. Let's
Obama
go.
enabled someone with 18 criminal convictions to sit in our country without any sort of accountability. There's a lot of people they need to add to that list. Mr. Haitian migrant, criminal who's no longer going to be here. Add Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston. Add Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago. Add Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Democrats have enabled this. And what a smart move from this administration to put these images out there within 48 hours. Because I can tell you this, the media is trying to focus on crying immigrants whose CBP apps were canceled, their appointments were canceled. They're trying to find the collateral migrants who are swept up. Tom Homan said that would happen because Democrats are not being compliant. They're trying to find those stories. And the Trump administration says, here are the criminals that are going to make the next Laken Riley happen in this country. This is what we're doing, protecting women.
By the way, I want to mention that the Laken and Riley situation, I heard about it. My thing is, there's also black women who have actually been killed and unalived and violated by illegal migrants, right? But because Fox News is a mostly caters to white people, they're going to highlight somebody like Lake and Riley. I heard about that situation. It's not right. It's not good. Obviously, it's disgusting. All right, but there's black women and you know black men, not necessarily who've been violated, but black men who've lost a lot of positions to migrant workers or illegal immigrants that come in uh whatever people like to say black jobs, but black people, black men especially, are highly represented in the trades, right? Warehouse jobs as well, right? And a lot of those jobs are given to migrant workers because you don't have to really pay them a really great wage because they're illegal. So they're paid under the table. So let's say you've been working at a warehouse in whatever. I don't know, man. You work in some kind of warehouse. Y'all process beds or lamps, whatever you do, right? 2 weeks later, Javier comes in, but Javier is getting paid $5 less. You don't think that the manager is gonna go with Hector, Javier, and Jose instead of your black ass? And this is the problem when you have migration or illegal, you know, as they say, illegal aliens or whatever, who are taking your jobs and your livelihood. Shout out to JMN in the chat. It will be a shorter wait time at the hospital. Absolutely. Because when you overflood a population with the people who are not supposed to be there, they are going to not only hurt the financial sector, but they're going to also hurt social services. Let's go, bro.
Girls, American citizens. And as Kaylee talks about the Laken Riley Act, Tom Homan warns these individuals, you will be arrested for these collateral individuals, you will be arrested for resisting this.
Yeah, you know, we do need to take a good look at the first law they broke, though, because that is really the problem. They came into this country illegally, and the last administration wanted to legalize their illegal behavior and just turn them into our neighbors.
And that's the problem, man. If a nation can't really help its people who are already here enough or there enough, and they're letting more in with other situations, you have a huge problem, not only economically, but socially. Let's go.
And that's how these people have gotten to the point where, well, can we vote too? Eric Adams, don't forget what he said when he was a candidate before he decided he might need Trump to clean up this mess that he and the governor of New York have put on the citizens here in the state with illegal immigration. He said, oh, I'll see if you can vote, even if you're not here legally. So can we all just agree that when you break our law of sovereignty at the border, it counts, it matters, and they are going after the most violent among them and the criminals. And if they sweep up some, as you said, Kaylee, I believe, look, they're not playing ball with ICE, but they're also sweeping up people because those people are with the illegal guys who are committing the violent crimes because they're here illegally too. I can't say that enough. And does that mean that everybody gets pushed out? What it ought to mean is everybody at least gets vetted.
Trace, I want to talk to you about.
And that's the problem. I believe I believe that was a huge issue that affected the Democrats within the election last year, right? The Democrats failed to identify that a lot of uh, immigrant communities, specifically Latino Hispanics, right? And I believe Lenny Pena, he himself is Hispanic. I'm not too sure, but the last name indicates that a lot of Hispanic people, men and women, were experiencing the issue of illegal immigration, right? That affects their community, I believe, the most. Because let's say you're a legal immigrant, you're somebody who did the paperwork, who filed, who did everything they're supposed to do to become a citizen of the United States. You did everything right. You came from Guatemala, you came from Mexico, you came from whatever, right? You did everything the right way. Okay, good. You're a good man, good woman. But then some MFer comes through a border and goes through your city, no papers, no nothing, and they take your job. What? I'd be mad too. So a lot of the Hispanic community who saw this happen inside their community said, bro, we done with it. We done with it. And then you add on top of that, that could be a criminal. Let's say you've been working your whole life following rules, following everything you're supposed to do, and a criminal from your own country comes in. Bro, you want that MFer out because now he's making your people look bad. That's happened in New York. That's happened in Chicago. It's happened in Denver. It's happened in a lot of places. It hasn't happened in Canada that much, but what happened is we have a student visa situation, right? Where a lot of Indians, right, apply to be students in Canada on a student-based visa, but they don't even go to the classes. They just use a student visa to live here and to just live here and take advantage of Canadian society, right? And it became so bad that that the liberal government, which runs this country, had to make a new mandate to limit and stop that student visa because people were manipulating it, especially Indians. Unfortunately, also the Indians were not adapting to Canadian culture, so they were treating Canada like it was basically India 2.0. And it became a huge crisis. Now, what happened with that? It caused a housing crisis in Canada. right? Meaning, okay, all them people coming in, but they ain't enough houses being built. That's why when you go to a city like Toronto, huge Indian population, Vancouver, huge Indian population, and in those cities, they don't have enough money to sustain that huge influx of people. They don't have the space. So guess what that means? That means regular houses, regular apartments, you feel me, are jacked up in terms of pricing. So let's say you want a 2-bedroom. They done raise the price because everybody wants it. There's a higher demand in the market, not enough supply. Think about getting jobs. You want to get a job, like five Indians already got it, bro. So you don't have a proper economy. Canada has a horrible economy. Inflation up the ass, fam. It is horrible up here, bro. Buying a house is nearly impossible. You have to be having some crazy dough. It's horrible out here. Let's go, man.
Something specific having to do with California. So we know that ICE issued over 420 detainers, which means that they demand to be notified.
By the way, JMN saying other immigrant races are doing it too, bro. Yeah, of course, man. They find a way to finesse the system. Look, and by the way, the Somalis are doing the government finesse before the Indians, bro. I heard about that too. And my thing is, bro, I would be if I'm an immigrant, Somali who's Indian, who's whatever, and I did fraud to get in. Actually, no, my bad. Let me rephrase that. If I'm an immigrant and I did things the right way, I would be insulted and angry at the people who did it the wrong way and finessed. And in that situation, they making me and my group look bad because they did it the wrong way and they're finessing the system. So when people are racist towards them, they're conflating me with them people who did it the wrong way. Now, I'm not saying that, Canada or the US are not corrupt. Of course they are. They have their issues too. But bro, when you're starting to come in a country illegally and you're doing bad ish, bro, get the hell back. Go back. Take your ass back, fam. Take your ass back, man. You're making the block hot for us,
When a
man.
national is released from custody, these ones that they're
And let me say this. The reason Donald Trump even won is because he actually recognized, bro, this ain't right. I'm not gonna deal with these goofies here, man.
requesting
By the
are
way,
in
shout out to
custody for
Daniel.
things
What's
like
good, family?
homicide, battery, rape, kidnapping, and the like. But they're in the city of
Of course, my ish is
San Jose,
lagging.
for example, when Miss Bambi Larson was murdered.
My thing is, again, back to the main point here. You have people finessing the system to get ahead. Look, man, I'm not saying sometimes the system is broken, but we got to have some kind of things to stand on, man. We can't be playing these games. And when you look at how Donald Trump won, Donald Trump is a crazy, wild guy, but I actually support him when he did this because he's saying, bruh, we have too many illegals in the country. And keep in mind, during when the time Biden was president, he was letting in way too many illegals in the country. Here in Canada, man, I'm Canadian, bro. In Canada, we have, like I said, a huge Indian population, man. And it's untenable because they pretend to be students. They don't go to class. Right? And they're taking advantage of the Canadian economy. And who loses out? Us Canadians who have done the right thing and been done that what we're supposed to do. By the way, JMN is here. What do you think about the child benefit finesse? I think that's also something too. Like, let's say you pull up here, you have a lot of children, right? And what happens is the government is pretty good enough to give you some kind of benefit per child. The thing you have to keep in mind is if you're in a low income status, right? Who is paying for those child benefits? Who's paying for that? I'll tell you who's paying for that. The taxpayer. Who is a taxpayer? You and me. If you're paying incredibly high amount of taxes, especially in Canada, where we pay crazy amount of taxes for social services, bro, right? That we hope are going to the right people doing the right thing, not trying to play games with our money. Y'all don't understand, man. When I see my paychecks and I see how much goes to taxes, I want to pop myself in the head, bro. I'm like, I just been grinding, and this is like all of this guap is going. So you look, if the funds are spent the right way, okay, I have no problem. But when they're being misappropriated and people are playing games with our money, this is money that you earn, that I earn, that's going to idiots. Idiots, bro. And that's what makes me angry, man. This should make everybody angry. You work hard just
by
to get
an
finesse.
illegal immigrant who had six detainer requests from ICE. And that is why, in part, Michael Gates from Huntington Beach in your neck of the woods, Southern California, is suing California, saying we are not.
By the way, JMN in the chat. Yeah, so I shout out Daniel in the chat as well. Taxpayers. Yeah, we the ones who take the brunt of it. So you think that communism is a scam? I believe communism is definitely a scam. I believe in capitalism, man. Everywhere that's really implemented communism, there's been despair and sadness and actually poverty and horrible things that happen. Bro, look at Russia. Look at Russia. They tried communism. And then all the Russians in there tried to leave because it was a horrible system. Look at Cuba. Communists up the and then they all tried to leave. Look at North Korea, man. Every place that's been trying communism fully has been a massive failure. And I'll say this. Yeah, shout out Daniel, North Korea. Like, come on, fam. Like, what are we doing? The thing about also communism, I want to say this about communism. It encourages you to be lazy, to not be ambitious, because when everything it is just, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm a capitalist, y'all. Right? You let the free market decide. Right? I'm on YouTube. I get paid for my content. I work hard. I try to work and innovate and get it better because I believe that my work should be compensated. I believe in the free market. I believe in free enterprise. But what's happened a lot of times now is that you have governments, especially liberal-minded governments, that want you to put all your hard-earned money into social services that are inept and don't work properly, right? While letting you and your hard work and hard efforts go to a system that's broken. That has, but by the way, I say this: if the funds and the social services were going to people who are not playing games or actually need help, I have no problem with that. But when it's being abused by all types of people who are not even supposed to be in the area, that's what makes me mad. That's what gets me cheese, man. Let's see what JMN is saying. Don't you think that humans are going to take advantage of the system? Absolutely. I think a lot of the time it's human nature to take advantage of a system that is broken. So guess what you do? If the system is broken, you have to provide punishment and deterrence. That's what you have to do. If a system is broken, you have to try to fix it. And when you see people playing with the system, you have to punish it. Okay, let's say you have a child, right? You tell them, yo, don't eat the candy, eat your vegetables, right? The kid keeps on eating candy. The kid keeps on stealing candy. Back in the day, parents, and even some right now, you grab them, you smack them in their ass. Smack them in their ass. Okay, but you can't do that no more. You give them time out. You punish them, and then you hide the candy, you put it in another area. So now you've created a system of hiding the candy and then also punishing them for not listening to you. So what Donald Trump is doing, I believe, is he's giving a punishment to bad behavior and trying to fix a broken system. What is the broken system? the U.S. immigration thing. What is the punishment? Deported. You're getting deported. So guess what? If somebody wants to come in the United States illegally, they know that they're going to probably get deported. It's a deterrence, bro. Let's see what the chat is saying. Shout out Daniel in the chat. What do you think about DEI program that Trump is about to annex? I think that I think that I'm not a big fan of that. I think the DEI program, it should actually be, about merit, obviously, right? But the thing about the DEI program is that it's a program that's for federal government, right? It's not necessarily linked to private companies. Let's say you're Costco. Costco can keep a DEI program, right? But the thing is, when you have programs like that, it gives people an opportunity in companies that where the opportunity wouldn't be there. So I don't like that policy. I think the DEI can be abused too. I'm not gonna lie about that. But if you're following it the right way and actually hiring people who are minority, but also actually have the skills, it has to be combined. It can't just be, oh, just because you black, you're gonna get hired. Just because you're a woman, you're gonna get hired. And you think, let me tell you something about DEI programs. A lot of those DEI and affirmative action programs benefit white women the most. Y'all got to keep that in mind. Some say it will benefit white women. I mean, yes, you usually see them of course, in prominent position. It also usually goes for also black women in higher positions as well. Mostly men, not so much, not so much, and that's the bias that happens. So the DEI programs, I look at it like this: Donald Trump was doing it at the federal government level. I think it can be tweaked and worked on, but it should be obviously about merit. You have to have the qualifications, right? And I don't like when people are getting advantages because of their race or skin color. You know what I mean? But there's that human bias where people are gonna hire people that look like them, right? And talking about the migrant crisis, man, I have this video. Let's look at analyze about this. Let's look at it about this. I think y'all gonna like this one. You know what I mean? But you should be hired based on your qualifications, bro. It's not on, you know what I mean? Not on anything else. Let's go, G. I don't even know what's going on. We're having a few technical difficulties on the back end. But like I said, the key is if you look at and analyze as what happened in general, white women have disproportionately benefited from DEI more than any minority. Any minority. And it's been like this since I believe the 80s, right? Because white women are also fall into a diverse, equitable type of thing. I don't like it though. I don't like it. Let's go. We're gonna see the
Specific and talk about the migrant.
So keep in mind, Eric Adams here is the mayor of New York, right? Why is this relevant? This is relevant because New York is one of the places that's had the biggest migrant issue. And this is what Trump was campaigning on, the fact that migrants and illegals took advantage of the social services and kept doing crimes. Let's go.
Crisis in this regard. About 229,000 migrants came to this.
By the way, I better see the likes come up. Y'all in the chat, but y'all not giving your boys some likes. Let's get the likes up, though. Let's go.
The city streets of New York. You had to find shelter for them. You articulate, I believe, during the Tucker Carlson interview, the lack of support that you had received, etc. Nevertheless, you found a way to maneuver your way through this and find yourself in a position where there were so many other things about your administration there was to applaud. Crystallize for the viewers out there and the listeners on iHeartRadio as well, the kind of potential damage inflicted upon New York City in light of migrants coming to the city And New York obviously being considered a sanctuary city.
Right, right. And, well said, and that's a great question. And so let's look at it for a moment. 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers came to the city, 1.5 the size of Albany. So a whole city was dropped in our cities. We were getting thousands a week, all times of the night. We had to provide every service that you would provide to an individual person. We had to do housing, we had to clean clothing, we had to provide food, we had to educate 40,000 women and 40,000 children. And we were told this: it's illegal for you to allow them to work. You can't allow the buses to come. You can't stop the buses from coming in. You can't even allow them to volunteer to remove graffiti, deliver food and services. You couldn't do any of that. All of that was against the law. And out of the $6.5 billion, the federal government wanted to give us $200 million and only gave about $125 million to provide for this service, which is a national.
Keep in mind, New York is a city of about 8 million people, man. Huge, huge, man. Biggest city in the United States of America, one of the biggest cities in the world, right?
Problem. It's not a local problem. And so what it did.
Of course, it's freezing up. I can never have nice things. Welcome to my life. But get active in the chat, man. Let me know what y'all think about this, man. I just, like I said, man, I don't like the finesse. I don't like the finesse, man. I like when people actually do the right thing and don't play games, because who really gets hurt the most? The taxpayer.
Did was,
And
in
it
addition
is
to
what
the
it is.
countless number of people who were pursuing the American dream, it brought in a small number of a criminal element that did a disproportionate amount of crime. So we had a public safety issue.
Bingo. That's the fact. You have a small population doing a lot of the crime. Where they doing the crime at? They doing it to people who are in low income communities, bro. What is a low income community? Unfortunately, it has a lot of black and Hispanic people in New York.
That we were facing our
Sad
city, and
truth.
we had an infrastructure issue because those $6.5 billion, people tell me all the time, okay, Eric, you got through it. Wow, congratulations. You transitioned 170,000 to go on to the next step of the American dream. But what is the damage, the long-term?
You're about to talk about the long term damage, of course. The long term damage is horrible for society, bro. Horrible. Let's
Damage.
go.
I couldn't go after children who are chronically absent from school because we didn't have the money.
Ain't that horrible to really think about? Like, you you're trying to manage a city, right? One of the biggest cities in the world, and your ops are the federal government. That's like Canada, bro. uh, the biggest op for Canadians is Justin Trudeau. Don't get me started, bro.
Older adults dealing with my housing infrastructure. That's 6.5
I'm gonna let it ride. Fair use, fair use. I'll be right back, though.
billion. Now we're up to 6.9 billion that were removed from dealing with the real issues that we wanted to invest into our city. The long-term impact to New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Denver, we have not witnessed the long-term impact yet to this crisis.
So with that being said, are you still supportive of the city of New York being considered a sanctuary city?
And so that's so important. These are good questions, brother. People conflate what sanctuary city is.
Please explain.
A sanctuary city is saying that if you are in New York and you are paying your taxes, then those tax dollars provide your services, your police services, your hospital service, your
I don't know what's going on. My issue's bugging. Let's go.
education services. And so right here, if you in New York, we're not going to deny you those services because
See, notice something that he says is very important to the conversation, bro. He's talking about the fact that somebody is paying taxes. And by the way, shout out to my boy Daniel in the chat that was talking about taxpayers, right? And this is a boring conversation, but I don't care. This is interesting to me because I'm a taxpayer. I'm somebody who's going to get ready to file his taxes real, real soon. And I'm probably going to have to pay the stupid Canadian government a ton of money, right? And unfortunately, what's happened with the Canadian government is that, don't get me started, bro. I could go off, but the stupid Canadian government, which is run by this idiot, let me show you the idiot that runs it so far. He quit, but he's still running the joint. He's still running the joint until he's actually, you know what I mean, he finds a replacement, and that replacement will be probably in there for like 5 seconds or 5 minutes. But this goofy, if you're watching, if you're listening on audio only platforms, I'm showing a picture of Justin Trudeau, a drama teacher. Let me repeat, he's a drama teacher. He's also a male feminist. So take that as you will. He's a weirdo, bro. He's a weirdo. He's lame, and he's actually a horrible leader. Where a lot of my tax dollars, your tax dollars, individuals who are listening, who work hard, going to services and programs that don't benefit nobody and get finessed and get used by a government that's consistently not balancing the budget and in a massive deficit, keeping inflation rates up, everything's more expensive, just horrible. And then also discriminatory and thinks everybody's a racist, sexist, xenophobic person because they don't want to take a freaking vaccine. It is what it is. This guy, that's the guy who's running the country. But think about it like this: our taxpayers goes to his team to manage, right? Eric Adams had a similar goofy by the name of Joe Biden. As y'all could say, Joe Biden or Ho Biden, whatever you want to call him, or, let's go Brandon or whatever you want to say. This guy was running the joint as well. Very similar to this guy. You know what I mean? Liberals, Democrats, it is what it is. Eric Adams had to deal with that. And unfortunately, dealing with this guy and his administration caused so much turmoil in New York, right? Keep in mind, Eric Adams, he himself is a Democrat. So it was on Democrat beef. Let's go.
You buy a loaf of bread, you're paying taxes. You buy gas, you're paying taxes. So with those tax dollars, you're paying for the goods and services of the city. That's what the sanctuary city means. What we have been saying, what American people have stated, Donald Trump got the popular vote and the electoral vote.
Correct. So whatever thing that Donald Trump is putting in, think about it like this. It's because the U.S. population, the electorate said, we want it. That's what they said. Let's go, man.
And so the people of the city said, we got to fix our borders. You can't allow people to come in the country with no destination, not knowing where they're going, and then you're telling them you're not allowed to work. Imagine that for 6 months.
But what about somebody that's looking at you? Because I got to be honest with you. Mr. Mayor, yes. I have been on this show. Right. I've been on the airwaves. And I mean, with all of these billions you're talking about, right? I think I was the loudest critic of the $53 million prepaid credit card. I was losing my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. I know. Look, I've been black all my life. I've been in New York City for the better part of my life. I'd be damned if I ever saw some damn prepaid credit cards coming to the black community, and I was born here. So I'm like, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, how could that be supported?
I love
Explain that to me.
I love that. And
that was crazy too, by the way. New York was giving credit cards with a lot of money to these migrants, a lot of them illegal.
This is why it's important to be able to tell your own narrative. Okay. So let's look at those credit cards.
Please do.
Those cards. We were
That was wild. Imagine you broke as hell in New York, and then a migrant who came 2 minutes ago is getting all that credit card. What?
Required by law to feed every migrant and asylum seeker that was in our care.
Okay.
Bruh.
Food was being delivered that people were not eating. And a lot of it was being thrown out. We were wasting money. And so my former deputy mayor, Sheena Wright, first deputy mayor, came in and said, listen, there's this minority company called Mocafy. We give people a food card with around $11 a day that they can spend for food, and they're going to go to the local bodegas, shops, and restaurant within the area. So we're going to recycle the money back into the community instead of a large conglomerate that we're spending. It saved us money, and we were able to put money back into the local communities, and it stopped the food waste that we were seeing of taxpayers' dollars. So we did a pilot to say, let's see how successful this is. And so on first brush, when you see people do it, you say, wait a minute, what are you giving these guys credit?
I lost my mind. All I saw was $53 million in prepaid credit cards. I said prepaid.
I mean, that is kind of crazy, bro, giving them prepaid credit. But if that's required by law, I mean, it makes sense. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with feeding people who are, you know what I mean, struggling or who don't have the opportunity. My thing is, again, that's crippling the taxpayer, right? The taxpayer in New York. Imagine what they got to handle, what they got to deal with, right? Let's go, man.
Paid. Oh, I was hot. I was hot about that. So I needed that explanation.
Yeah, fam, I'd be hot too. By the way, y'all in the building, man. Smash that like button, man. Show your boy some love, man. Let's get the likes up, bro. Let's make the likes match the viewership, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, man. Let's go.
Boys who
We almost done. By the way, I said cheers to y'all. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm rocking with y'all. If you're listening on audio only, man, smash that 5-star rating. Share with everybody you know. Helps your boy grow.
brought it
Let's
at
go.
first, like the Daily News did a whole piece and say, listen, this is a smart approach to government. Because what many people don't realize, people know my law enforcement background, they know what I'm doing around health in the city, but really people don't appreciate the fiscal management that independent bond raters who determine how successful you are managing a city have raised my bonds. They say this cat has managed us through COVID. He's managed us through the asylum seekers. He's managing this city and being fiscally responsible.
I want to transition to the issue of crime, all right? Because on May 1st, 2023, 30-year-old homeless man, Jordan Neely, was killed after being put in a chokehold by Daniel Penny, a 24-year-old United States Marine Corps veteran, while riding the New York City subway. He was found not guilty. This past December, a woman was set on fire as she was sleeping on the F train. When you think about those incidences, those kind of things that you happen, like you said, the number is considerably lower than people even recognize. But you know the visual is what it's all about. You know, I mean, you see a woman on fire, you scared. You scared. You don't want your daughter on there. You don't want your wife on there. You don't want your mom on there. You're going to get scared. You're going to be in panic mode because you're worried about what, damn it, could it be you? When you talk about addressing crime, how do you believe your administration has gone about doing it? And how has it been successful?
A crime is perceived and actual. And where our failure, I tell the team, we lost the perception. Because when you have incidents that overshadow your success, no matter how impressive your numbers are, it overshadows. When you have 3 people stabbed by a person with severe mental health illness, when you have someone set on fire, those visualizations are real.
Absolutely.
And I respect how people feel. Now, I don't want to come to people and tell them, listen, here are my numbers, this is how well.
I want to say this, man. I was in New York, bro, about a year ago. The subway is trash, bro. Subway system's crazy. There's a lot of homeless people. There's a lot of crazy people in there. Not a fun time. Not a fun time, bro.
What we're doing, how you feel is important to me. My success in this city has been overshadowed by 3 things. Random acts of violence, slashing people, pushing people to the subway system, putting people on fire. Those small numbers have a major impact on how people feel. Second is recidivism. We have a lot of cats that
going in and out, coming out, going
unbelievable,
getting
brother.
arrested and coming right back out in the streets. Sometimes the same day.
Right. We have about 570.
That ain't right, man. That ain't right. You do crime, you do the time, bro. It's simple. It's a simple math, man. I don't understand how that's complicated, man. It is what it is. Let's
5
go.
people that were arrested over 7,500 times for shoplifting. We have 36 people who were arrested over 1,100 times for a crime.
That's just asking police officers not to do their job.
You know what I'm saying?
What purpose is it
You
serve?
know what I'm saying? And let me tell you the third issue that overshadows severe mental health illness. We have people with severe mental health illness. When I first got elected, I went into the streets January and February and visited people in encampments.
By the way, that's a full world issue. I think that's affected. My theory is I think that's affected by a lot of people who went through COVID, right? Because people got way more isolated. And unfortunately, that's bad for the mental health. I think people also became more anxious. People were on pills, people taking drugs, people taking alcohol. That causes mental health issues, bro. I think that's got sparked up even higher because of the pandemic or the scamdemic or whatever you all want to call it. YouTube,
I saw
YouTube don't mess with me, bro.
human waste, drug paraphernalia, schizophrenic, bipolar.
By the way, just know this, man. That's why I want y'all. When I say like the stream, when I say y'all feel free to send super chats, it's because it does a lot of support. You have to understand that a lot of topics YouTube censors, demonetizes, and plays games with you. Give you an example. I played like maybe 20 minutes worth of music. My whole stream is gonna get demonetized because of copyright laws and issues, right? I can appeal it, I can do things, I can kind of work around it. But when you speak about certain topics on YouTube, when you speak about certain things on YouTube, they will literally police your speech. They police the hell out of your speech, bro. So some of the things I'm saying, not even what I'm doing, will get flagged. It is what it is because of their algorithm. They're robots. They're AI.
And I told the team, we can't live like this. And many people were saying for years, even when we were growing up, when people were sleeping on the street, our families said, listen, just leave them alone. They're crazy or what have you. We closed psychiatric wards like
Yes, they close psych wards. Yeah.
Creekmore and others, and didn't give people a landing place. And now you see them on the streets. They're doing they part of the random acts of violence, a small number of them. And so when I said we're going to tackle this, my team said, man, you out of your mind, man. Nobody dealt with this stuff. And I said, no, this is inhumane. We got to stop this. And when I was out in the street, I met a guy that was living in an encampment who was a retired police officer that just slipped through the cracks. And I said, we're not going to continue to do that. That has overshadowed our success. Crime is down, shooters, homicides are down, our economy is back, but it has been overshadowed by those random acts of violence.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more because we're going to work to not have those things overshadowed with all the good things that you're doing right now. And I just want to throw this out, and it'll please your team because I mean.
By the way, the crazy part is Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, is indicted. By the way, he's indicted, I think, by either the feds or something like that. Long story short, bro is being investigated. I like to see black men succeed, man, but bro is being investigated. I'm like, running New York. Why is every mayor that runs New York have a scandal or some crazy ish happen to them, man? It's like always happens. What's up with New York, bro?
And everybody make sure I have my information. I got to give them their props where it's due, okay? You're talking about a plan to axe, taxes for the working class family. A plan to literally eliminate and cut city personal income taxes for 582,000 of the poorest New Yorkers. Anytime you're cutting taxes, I love that. I love that. I love stuff like that.
I mean, Stephen A., of course you love cutting taxes, bro. You rich as hell. You want less taxes. I don't blame him, though. I don't blame him, though. The thing is, in New York is one of the highest tax states in the United States, period. Not as bad as Canada, though. We're getting taxed up the bum.
Planning to build 80,000 new homes across 5 boroughs, do small changes and bring the cost of housing down. You've got an initiative that has saved New Yorkers more than $30 billion through city, state, and federal programs since the start of the administration. Major stuff going on.
Broken class people.
That's right.
Now, I'm gonna play the last video for y'all. By the way, people, again, like the stream, best way to support. If y'all want to send a super chat, feel free to do that. I'll play one last video, and it connects to Canada and what Donald Trump is saying, right? So what happens is, I'm gonna give you guys some context. Some context is Donald Trump had uh an appearance at Davos, right? At Davos for the World Economic Forum, right? The World Economic Forum is a meeting of global you could say globalists on some Alex Jones-ish, but no, it's where a lot of world leaders discuss the economy and how they can make it better or sustainable in Davos, Switzerland. All right. And during that speech, he said a lot of things pertaining to tariffs, a lot of things related to Canada, a lot of comments that got a lot of heat, right? Now this is a commentary that I kind of found appropriate that I liked. So let's see it.
All right.
It relates to Canadians too, by the way.
There's a lot of stuff popping that we want to get to, but earlier
A lot of people thought that Donald Trump's speech was also wild, so that's why I mentioned it.
today, President Trump said that his historic victory launched a, quote, revolution of common sense. This is a theme that we have heard since the inaugural speech. He was speaking remotely to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. And during this, very interesting set of comments. In the past, he has gone to Davos. He said, I couldn't go because I just was inaugurated 2 days ago, but he spoke to them and got a very interesting response, warm response, I would say, in general, from the crowd. But he had a warning for companies around the globe. Watch this.
My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative.
Again, fair use. I don't own this content. Belongs to Fox Corporation and News Corp. Let's go.
Then very simply, you will have to pay a tariff.
All right, let's bring in Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Ventures and a Shark Tank star and investor. Kevin, good to have you with us today. A lot to ask you about. There's also some things that are crossing the wires that are coming out from the White House with regard to the Fed that I want to ask you about as well. But let's start with that. What did you think about what the president had to say about U.S. manufacturing and what companies can expect if they don't make it here?
Well, the key to translating Trump language is to understand noise and signal. So what he basically saying there is, look, and these messages are different for different countries. For example, Mexico, we're going to build a wall. It's coming for sure. But we also want you to make sure you stop sending illegal immigrants from yours and other countries.
I believe it's a negotiation tactic, bro. Exactly what he's saying. These things are not set in stone. Donald Trump is a businessman. He's not trying to. The things he said sometimes can be serious, or sometimes it can be a tactic to say, yo, come to the table. Right? Let's go.
Or you're going to be tariffed. That's the message to the Mexicans. To the Canadians, start spending on security at the northern border and pay your 2% to NATO and stop sending fentanyl from China over the border into the United States, or you're going to face tariffs. That's the signal there. To the Germans, if you don't start making more cars in America, we're going to tariff the you-know-what out of your cars coming here.
Exactly. So what he says is mostly a threat or hyperbole, bruh. He's boosting.
And and on for each country. It's the tariff signal, if you want to call it that, is a negotiating leverage tool because Trump commands the largest market on earth. There's no market larger than the United States. For China, it's a whole different kettle of fish. We're in an economic war with China, and that's going to be the most interesting negotiation, whether it's a combination of tariffs and threat of military control, all kinds of stuff there. But he's starting with a message that's very clear. get in line, do what you said you were going to do, or you're going to face a wicked barrier to come into the world's largest market, and it's going to affect your economy. I heard it loud and clear.
Yeah. It was interesting.
I think that analysis is pretty good. I think that's pretty good because what he was doing by going on stage, I'm talking about Trump now, is that he was saying, yo, bruh, do these things or I'm gonna start taxing your ass. I'm gonna start putting some money. You're gonna have to spend some money to do business with me. I'm gonna start taxing you. You either do this or not. And now guess what that's gonna bring? That's gonna force countries to, at the bare minimum, start negotiating with the US. The very bare minimum. Now, worst case scenario, they don't negotiate and then it becomes a tariff war. Now, if it becomes a tariff war, Trump does a tariff in Canada, Canada retaliates, and guess who loses out of this whole situation? It would be Canadian consumers and American consumers. It would be you and me. Why? Because if they're gonna charge, let's say, I don't know, let's say kombucha cans. Let's say these are made in the States, right? When they want to buy kombucha cans, Canada wants to get the kombuchas from the United States. US gonna be like, oh, you want that? Okay, you can get that, but we're gonna add $10 on top of it. Now, when Canada receives the kombucha, in order for Canada to make some money, they have to overcharge this. So charge it, let's say $12 more, so they can get $2 profit or something. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Tariffs will cause strain in the relationship, issues in the relationship. And what ends up happening is us, the citizens, when we buy things, goods and products, we end up paying more. So this could actually hurt American and Canadian citizens, bro. Right? So guess what I think this is, in my theory? My theory is Donald Trump is using that as a threat, economic threat to multiple countries to say, bruh, y'all better start doing something better, or I'm gonna go on a kamikaze mission and hurt your pockets and even hurt my pockets. So come to the table, or we both gonna get clapped. We're gonna get clapped. We're both going to self-destruct. I'm willing to push that button, and I'm willing to take it there. If you want to avoid it, come meet me in my office at the stop.
At one point, he scolded Brian Moynihan at Bank of America for not doing business with conservative companies. And Jamie Dimon also responded to that, pushing back on it a little bit. What did you think about that?
You really have to, we've been listening to Trump for 12 years. It's just the way he is. And if you don't understand that at this point, he's not going to.
He's petty as hell. He be on some petty-ish, bro.
Change. So he'll pick someone out of a crowd, out of a sector, and he'll say something like that. He's trying to send a signal, and yet there's a lot of noise in it, but he's bombastic. He's controversial.
Bombastic side-eye. I'm goofy, man. Your boy's tired, bro. I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. It's wild, bro. My stamina ain't what it used to be, bro. I'm tired than a mother effer. Let's go.
I've gotten used to it now. It doesn't bother me anymore. And I've had a fair amount of time to talk to him about the things that matter to me. And I've seen that same kind of narrative. So it is what it is. Everybody relax.
You're right. He gets everybody on their toes.
There's something y'all gotta know, man. Trump says wild-ish for the effect, bro. He doesn't mean a lot of what he says. The things that he does mean can be taken seriously, but they have to be aligned with actions. Right? Think about it. Donald Trump, again, he's a businessman first, bruh. This dude is a businessman first. He's not a politician first. He wants to negotiate financially based deals. Transactional. Let's go, man. Let's finish this clip off. And I'm gonna log off, bro. I'm tired as hell.
In these moments as well. I thought the response was really interesting today there. Kevin, thank you very much. We'll talk more next time about TikTok and the future.
By the way, I rock with Kevin O'Leary, man. Canadian, CA. Let's go.
There, which I know you're very interested in.
He's kind of an asshole, low key, though.
Well, thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Take care.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Hey, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm tired. I'm tired as hell. But we had a good show. Appreciate my boy Daniel in the chat. JMN, you're kind of new to the chat. Appreciate you for coming in here in the conversation. Your comments were well respected, well needed. Lenny Pena, you're new to the chat. Appreciate you for rocking with me. Everybody else who's been watching the stream, I really appreciate you for rocking and for doing your thing. Y'all make me go. And if you are listening on the back end or you came at the very end, like the stream, best way to support the content. If y'all want to send some super chat, send it right now. We about to hit 2 hours in this joint. Again, my point is Donald Trump is much of a showman. He's a showman, bro. He likes to show the show. He likes to be a topic of discussion. He likes to, get the ball rolling in that sense, right? But oftentimes he does things just for the show of it. And he's about negotiating deals, man. Some of the things he says he can back out of if the deal makes sense, right? And we've been on 99 episodes, man. 99.5 today. I appreciate y'all more than you know. We hit the 2 hour mark. It's been Big JTV, man. I hope y'all have a great Friday. Cheers to y'all. Cheers to us. Much love. I rock with y'all more than you know. I'm out this joint.